Hello. Okay, I'm looking kind of greasy and tired. I just was outside and I'm tired. And my hair is crazy, so I'm just trying to let it do its crazy hair thing. Okay. We are starting on page 221. Okay. I don't have to move my glasses. These glasses I can see great. But I have contacts in too. And now I can't see anything. Can't read the page at all. And now I can read the page. But I look like anyway. Okay. As the peasants seized the animals by the heads and brought them, I haven't even set a timer. I'm just gonna read forever. Why? Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Alexa. What the fuck? It doesn't work sometimes and it works others, or I just don't know how to use it. It's apparently the problem. Okay, here we go. I lied. Okay, here we go. Okay. As the peasants seized the animals by the heads and brought them to a standstill, I staggered to my feet and threw my arms around my dear Bulger. He was more than pleased with what he had done, and licked my bruised brow with many a piteous moan. "Saint Nicholas, save us!" cried one of the peasants, devoutly making... "Saint Nicholas, save us!" cried one of the peasants, devoutly making the sign of the cross. "But if I should live long enough to fill the giant's well with pebbles, I never would expect to see the like of this again." The giant's well, I murmured to myself as I followed one of the peasants to his cot, standing a little back from the highway, for I stood sore in need of rest after my terrible experience I had just had. The blow of Ivan's whip handle had jarred my brain, and I was skilled enough in surgery to know that the hurt called for immediate attention. As good luck would have it, I found beneath the peasant's roof one of those old women, half witches perhaps, who would have recipes for everything, and who know an herb for every ailment. After she had examined the cut made by the loaded whip handle, she muttered out, "It is not as broad as the mountain, nor as deep as the giant's well, but it's bad enough, little master." The giant's well again, I thought. I laid me down on the bed best they could make up for... I laid down... My brain just clicked. I laid me down on the best bed they could make up for me. I wonder where it be, that giant's well, and how deep it is, and who drinks the water that is drawn from it. What did Don Fume say? Does anybody remember? Because I do. Okay, chapter 4. My wound heals. Juliana talks about the giant's well. I resolve to visit it. Preparations to ascend the mountains. What happens to Juliana and me. Reflection and then action. How I contrived to continue the ascent without Juliana for a guide. It was a day or so before I could walk steadily, and meantime I made unusual efforts to keep my brain quiet. But in spite of all I could do, every mention of the Giant's Well by one of the peasants sent a strange thrill through me, and I would find myself suddenly pacing up and down the floor and repeating over and over again the words, Giant's Well, Giant's Well. Bulger was greatly troubled in his mind and sat watching me with a most bewildered look in his loving eyes. He had half suspicion, I think, that the cruel blow from Ivan's whip handle had injured my reasoning powers, for at times he uttered a low, plaintive whine. The moment I took notice of him, however, and acted more like myself, he gamboled about me in the wildest delight. As I had directed the peasants to drive Ivan's horses back towards Ilyich on the Ilyich, they should meet me that miscreant and deliver them to him. I had directed the peasants to my... See, it doesn't make sense, so I can't read it. As I had directed the peasants to drive Ivan's horses back towards Ilyich on the Ilyich until they should meet that miscreant and deliver them to him, I was now without any means of continuing my journey northward, unless I set out, like many of my famous predecessors, on foot. They had longer legs than I. However, they were not loaded with so heavy a brain in proportion to their size, and a brain, too, that scarcely ever slept, at least not soundly. I was too impatient to reach the portals to the world within a world, to go trudging along a dusty highway. I must have horses and another tarantas, or at least a peasant's cart. I must push on. My head was quite healed now, and my fever gone. Hearken, little master, whispered Juliana, such was the name of the old woman who had taken care of me. Thou art not what thou seemest. I never saw the like of thee before. If thou wouldst, I believe thou couldst tell me how high the sky is, how thick through the mountains are, and how deep the Giant's Well is. I smiled, and then I said, Didst ever drink from the Giant's Well, Juliana? At which she wagged her head and sent forth a low chuckle. Hearken, little master, she then whispered, coming closer to me and holding up one of her long, bony fingers. Thou canst trick me. Thou knowst that the devil's well hath no bottom. No bottom, I repeated breathlessly, as dawn fumes, mysterious words, the people will tell thee, flashed through my mind. No bottom, Juliana? Not unless thine eyes are better than mine, little master, she murmured, nodding her head slowly. Listen, Juliana, I burst out impetuously. Where is this bottomless well? Thou shalt lead me to it. I must see it. Come, let's start at once. Thou shalt be well paid for thy pains. Nay, nay, little master, not so fast, she replied. It's far up the mountains. The way is steep and rugged. The paths are narrow and winding. A false step might mean instant death, were there not strong hand to save thee. Were there not strain. Give up such a mad thought as ever getting there, except it be on the stout shoulders of some mountaineer. Ah, good woman, was my reply, thou hast just said that I am not what I seem, and thou hast said truly, Know then, thou seest before thee the world-renowned traveler, Wilhelm Heinrich Sebastian von Trump, commonly called Little Baron Trump. Wilhelm Heinrich Sebastian von Trump, commonly called Little Baron Trump, that though short of stature and frail of limb, yet there be commonly called Little Baron Trump, that though short of stature and frail of limb, Yet what there is of me is of iron. There, Juliana, there is gold for thee. Now lead the way to the giant's well. Gently, gently, little baron, almost whispered the old peasant woman, as her shriveled hand closed upon the gold piece. I have not told thee all. For leagues about, I ween no living except I have not told thee all. For leagues about, I ween no living being excepting me knows where the giant's well is. Ask them and they'll say, it's up yonder in the mountains, away up under the eaves of the sky. That's all. That's all they can tell thee. But, little master, I know where it is, and the very herb that cured my hurt head and saved thee from certain death by cooling thy blood was plucked by me from the brink of the well. Those words sent a thrill of joy through me, for now I felt I was on the right road, that the words of the great master of all masters, Don Fume, had come true. The people will tell thee. Aye, the people had told me, for now there was not the faintest shadow of doubt in my mind that I had found the portals to the world within a world. Juliana should be my guide. She knew how to thread her way up the narrow paths, to turn aside from overhanging rocks which a mere touch might topple over, to find the steps which nature had hewn into the sides of the rocky parapets, and to pursue her way safely through clefts and gorges, even the entrance to which might be invisible to ordinary eyes. However, in order that the superstitious peasants might be kept friendly to me, I gave it out that I was about to betake myself to the mountains in search of curiosities for my cabinet, and begged them to furnish me with ropes and tackle. With two good stout fellows to carry it for me, promising generous payment for the services. 223. Page 223. Okay, I hesitated because it says timer, but it's not telling me the time. Like, I guess I'm ended. Okay. They made haste to provide me all I asked for, and we set out for the mountain path by daybreak. Juliana, in order not to seem to be part of the party, had gone on ahead by light of the moon, telling her people that she wished to gather certain herbs before the sun's rays struck them and dried the healing dew that beat at their leaves. Along a highway of the underworld. That's where we'll start tomorrow. So we're finally getting to this underworld. It's finally getting interesting. I don't understand the first two collections, but I'm sure that I'm hoping that once we read this final collection here, it all kind of comes together. I don't understand like the whiz bots or the round bodies or any of that crazy stuff from the earlier chapters. I'm trying to fix my nail. It hurts. Okay. Gotta keep going. Good talking to you. Today is August 3rd. Midday, August 3rd. Oh. Quit procrastinating on anything and everything. Time wasted is just that, wasted. Avoid distractions and the noise around me. Block it out. The art of continuous self-love through food, through water intake, through intentional meditation and thought. Something inside of me is superior to circumstance. Is it kind? Is it true? Does it reflect my authentic self? Focus more on money and its education. Focus more on self-discipline. See the sun, honor the moon. Forward momentum. The path out of hell is through misery. Honor my journey. I am a slave to my own incessant urge to escape the present moment. Meditate, walk, journal, stretch, love animals, leave life to wonder all it needs. Less stress, more fairy tale. Work on bettering the love I show my body through the food and beverage I put in it. With money, it's not what I make, but what I keep. Focus. Lose any ties to victim mentality. Continue to help yourself. Loving on my bed. This. Okay. All right, we're done.